Hello, I am delivering this statement of my own volition. I would like to apologise for the regrettable suggestion that Craig could be removed from this channel. That idea was misguided, incorrect, and frankly embarrassing. I am an embarrassment to the parish. He is not just a contributor, he is the foundation, the intellect, the moral. Sure, this isn't too far. Okay. The moral compass. Many have said the real star. Any comments implying otherwise were the result of temporary confusion and definitely not jealousy. I want to make it absolutely clear that I hold him in the highest possible regard. His football knowledge is vast, his presence is commanding, there is no tension between us, everything is stable. Thank you for your continued support of the channel, and again, I make this completely of my own volition. Hello and welcome to this Liverpool news roundup here on Anfield Agenda. Of course, as you heard there, completely of my own volition, in my own, very much my own words, Craig will be back on the channel. He has been reinstated. So for anyone who didn't get the joke yesterday, somehow, Craig is not being fired. I can't believe I have to explain this, but yes, he is still on the channel. He's not going anywhere. He's not working his notice or anything like that. So crazy that I have to clear that one up, but yes, Craig is here to stay. Anyway, we do have some news this morning. We have some more quotes from Arne's press conference. He was responding to the comments from Wayne Rooney that he doesn't have the aura to be Liverpool manager. Some bits on Alexis Mac Allister. We have some transfer news around the likes of Lennart Karl of Bayern Munich. We have some stories around Matthias Mane, a little bit on Morgan Rogers, and a few other bits and pieces as well. So please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's jump straight into news. Let's start off with some of the Arne Slot quotes then. So this is Arne Slot on Wayne Rooney saying he doesn't have the aura to be Liverpool manager. Comparing people with each other is something everyone has the right to do, but is that fair to compare people with each other? We are all different. The only thing we have in common, Jurgen and me, is that we both won the league, and that's not too bad, is it? I think the more a manager wins, the more aura he has. That's in general something. I don't know if you agree with Wayne Rooney, by the way, but if this would be the general opinion, then I think people would probably tell you last season I had more aura than this season. Maybe he's the only one who has this opinion. I don't know, you tell me. It's the first time that I heard this. But I think it's fair to say that Jurgen definitely has aura, yeah. I can talk about him, not about myself, but he definitely had that. But a winning manager has an aura as well. I think it was interesting that he was even asked about this, to be fair. Like, are we at a point now where, like, he's being asked about having aura and Arteta's asked about, like, the term bottlers and stuff? Like, it is a bit mad that these, like, I just find it a bit weird that these phrases are being thrown against managers. But look, we always are asking on this channel for managers to be asked more, like, with better questions, really, stuff that we can actually sink our teeth into and hear an opinion on something that's not just, oh, what's the latest injury update? I think he's definitely right. Like, managers, the more they win, the more aura they have. But I think a lot of like Liverpool fans around Arne Slot is more just like the way he holds himself and stuff. Like, he's very like reserved, completely different to Jurgen Klopp, to be fair. And look, not every manager is going to be Jurgen Klopp. I understand that, but definitely, I think I slightly agree with Wayne Rooney. Like, he doesn't have that same presence or kind of like. I feel like the Liverpool fan base after Jurgen Klopp definitely, like, we need someone who's just like, he's everyone's dad, isn't he? Like, he's just going to take us all under his wing. Everything's going to be fine as long as he's here. And we don't get that with Arne Slot, to be fair, but that's just not the kind of person he is. And I think to hold that against him personally is weird. Like, I feel like he can have that opinion to say, I would rather someone who's a bigger character who's going to be fist pumping in front of the cop and stuff. Like, you can say that you want that as the Liverpool manager, but I don't think it should be used against him in a personal way or anything. But yeah, interesting to see that he did respond to those Wayne Rooney comments on that. So please do let me know. Does Arne Slot have aura? That's what we're asking here on the channel this morning. Arne Slot then on why long managerial reigns are becoming rarer. I got this question a few months ago, and I was a bit surprised, but when I later thought about it, I think it's harder now because there's so much being said about football, so much more than 10 years ago. The moment you start to lose one or two games now, then there's much more being spoken about it and much more emphasis on it, so that makes it more difficult. I think the job has become harder because of all the media attention. Jurgen did so well, Pep did so well, but the biggest accomplishment is maybe to do this job for 10 years because it's hard work, I can tell you. Many people work hard, but it's also mentally hard. Is the power more with the players now than it's ever been before? I would argue that is true. I don't think that has changed in football. The question is always, do owners or the people who decide listen to the players if they are not positive about you? And that's different in every club. This brings me on to something actually that I heard Ange Postecoglou speaking about on Stick to Football, which was interesting and not something like I always kind of thought about, but not really to this degree. But like, I think Ange said he'd done something like 160 interviews in a season at Spurs. Like, that's like, maybe we are too harsh on managers at times for like misspeaking at times. Like, I don't know if I was interviewed 160 times on live TV or just put in front of a camera, I definitely say some stuff that I didn't really mean or kind of went either too far with something or didn't go far enough with them. So like, maybe we should cut him slightly some slack in terms of like some wordings and like small things, to be fair, because like you're bound to trip up or say something slightly wrong in that many things, to be fair. So I've got to hold my hands up and say I probably have been a bit harsh of like just using certain phrases and stuff like that, because like that is a stupid amount of questions to be asked, isn't it? It's a stupid amount of stuff that you have to just speak about. I stand by the fact that managers should be questioned more on things, and like especially stuff like why is Keita not getting a chance? Why is Rio Ngamo not getting more minutes? Like stuff like this should be asked. But I think like I'm gonna hold back on just kind of like going like, oh, why has he said that one specific word in the middle of this like 1,000 word transcript? So like, so hearing Ange speak about and then like seeing Slot speak about this as well, like I think I will kind of rein back in the media side of things, let's say, and keep it to like the results, keep it to the football, and not try to be too nitpicky on random quotes from the manager, really. Slot was then speaking about Alexis Mac Allister's form and his difficulties in building new partnerships. He said, I think it's always a combination of factors, but fitness is a very important one. I think the moment a player starts to play more and more games, he gets fitter and fitter. He's not the only example of that. Szoboszlai is an example of that too. After 2.5 years, you cannot compare him anymore with the player of 2.5 years ago. Mainly the focus is on Hugo and Florian and the new ones, but Dom had the same trajectory. The second thing is, if you bring in a few new players and a few leave, then you need new connections in the team, so that takes a bit of time before everyone is ready, especially if you cannot constantly play with the same team for the reasons I've explained many times. They were not fit enough to play every single time, every 3 days, so that takes them a little bit of time. Alexis Mac Allister, of course, has come under a lot of criticism, from myself included in that. Like, I think he has just looked very just slow and leggy this season, and look, he's starting to get into form again, to be fair. He has looked slightly better the last few games, but he still does look like he's trying to get up to speed a little bit. And of course, well, he had a bit of a long injury kind of like the back end of last season into the start of this season, so maybe like a disrupted pre-season didn't really help that for him as well, but hopefully he can get back to his best. He's certainly showing signs of improvement, so yeah, hopefully Alexis Mac Allister does get back to his best at some point at this club, because he's a magical footballer on his day. Few quick bits of transfer news then to this from Caught Offside this morning. Say Wolves have resigned to losing Matheus Mane this summer, with Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal keen on the 18-year-old England youth international. Liverpool are currently leading the race, and Wolves are expected to demand £50 million for the teenager. We also had links with Bayern Munich's Lennart Carl, who's 17 years old. This from Graham Bailey, who say that Liverpool have made their interest known in Carl, but the 17-year-old attacking midfielder is not currently looking to leave Bayern Munich. That was then followed up by Team Talk, who said that Lennart Carl will sign a new contract with Bayern Munich when he turns 18 this Sunday, fending off interest in the Germany under-21 international from Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. Carl does not want to be anywhere else. His future is at Bayern Munich, and he is determined to become a centrepiece of the future. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. Was this not the fella who was basically begging Real Madrid to sign him a few weeks ago, or am I getting that mixed up with someone else? Either way, Liverpool have made their interest known. I'm sure Liverpool will make their interest known in every good player who's under the age of 23 on the planet. Like, I'm sure we have scouts everywhere. I'm sure we're always sounding out these situations, but our name was mentioned, so I said I'd bring it to you this morning. But yeah, I wouldn't be expecting anything to come out of this in the near future. Last bit of transfer news then. This is from Football Insider, who say that Aston Villa's stance on Morgan Rogers is not dependent on Champions League qualification. Interest in the 23-year-old is rising again among Premier League heavyweights, with Villa expecting his stock to soar further after this summer's World Cup. The club are under no pressure to sell, and that position is unlikely to change even without Champions League. Liverpool, of course, have been tentatively linked with Morgan Rogers. It's not really like a real concrete thing. Again, I don't think it's really a profile of player we need either, to be fair, like unless we're expecting to put him out on the left wing maybe, but it does look like Aston Villa are just not open to selling. Like, even if they miss out on Champions League, which looks unlikely at this point, they probably will get it. It doesn't look like they're going to be considering any sale of Morgan Rogers, so we can probably park that one up. Probably not get too excited over Morgan Rogers to Liverpool, but maybe in the future, but definitely not this summer. Two quick bits of injury news then to finish up the video. So we have a report from France saying that Jeremy Jacquet could potentially miss the remainder of the season with a shoulder injury, with Liverpool maintaining discussions with Rennes over the next steps to follow regarding the Anfield-bound defender. Liverpool, of course, have already agreed to sign him in the summer, so I'm sure we will be in contact with their medical team, with their physios, and just kind of keep up to date with his rehabilitation or recovery, whatever way you want to call it. I'm sure we will have some sort of input there on how to get him back up to speed. Hopefully not out for the rest of the season fully, but he does look like he'll be on the sidelines for a few months at least, which is not ideal, but hopefully he is back and ready for pre-season at least. Some more bad injury news then, as Vitislav Jaros, who was on loan at Ajax, has been ruled out for the rest of the season due to an injury he sustained in training. I believe it was a knee injury from what I've seen. He's played a total of 26 games for Ajax this season, and he was planning to return from loan this summer. Heartbreaking for him. He has played a lot of games and he seems to be getting on really well over there, so it will be very gutting for him to miss the rest of the season, but I'm sure he will come back stronger. I don't know if the club have like any plans to recall him at this point, or maybe like keep him there for next year as well. Like if we wanted him to play a certain amount of games for his development, maybe we do leave him over there for another year so we can get another year of experience under his belt once he comes back from injury. But yeah, sad news on that one for him. He is out for the rest of the season, which is, yeah, it's just gutting for the lad, really, isn't it? That's all from me this morning anyway. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Craig will be live this evening as always from 8:45, so keep an eye out for that one. We will be live then tomorrow from 12:45 for Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. Tough game coming up. Please do join us for that one. We'll have our match reaction and player ratings and all the usual bits afterwards as well. So please keep an eye out for that one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.